No doubt another big disappointment for all the mob in the media, especially fake news CNN. And that is the topic of tonight's opening monologue. Beginning in 2015, the network's president, we call him affectionately Mr. Potato Head, that would be Jeff Zucker. Well, he cashed in on the left's anti-Trump rage. As a result, facts, so-called journalism, took a back seat as the anti-Trump radical conspiracy theories, the hoax, the rumors, the smears dominated coverage 24/7. Now, for over 3 years, really over 5, the network breathlessly telling their viewers that the president of the United States, Donald Trump, colluded with Russia to steal the election. Well, Hillary's the only one we know of that had a dirty Russian disinformation dossier. They didn't spend much time on that. In June of 2017, 3 fake news CNN employees resigned after reporting a fake story about a Russian investment firm with ties to Trump officials. Also, June 2017, CNN again forced to issue a correction because of a fake story about Comey's Russia investigation. December 2017, CNN propagated another fake story about Trump's national security advisor and Russia. And in December 2017, fake news CNN publishing a fake story about Donald Trump Jr. and WikiLeaks. Then in July 2018, more fake Russia news, this time featuring the Trump Tower meeting. In July of 2019, at least one fake news CNN host was still accusing Trump of Russia collusion. Did they miss that story? False story. Fake news. And, of course, the terrible and unethical reporting didn't begin and end with Russia. May 2018, they also bashed Trump for putting migrant kids in cages based on a 2014 photo. That would be when Obama and then Vice President Sippy Cup was in office. In September 2018, the network all but accused Brett Kavanaugh of being guilty of every charge made against him. In January of 2019, multiple so-called journalists at CNN slandering a 15-year-old boy wearing a MAGA hat in Washington, D.C. CNN ultimately settled with Nicholas Sandmann out of court. I don't know. I would bet it's tens of millions. Clearly, it is hyper-obsessive in their pursuit to smear all things Donald Trump 24/7. They got it wrong over and over and over again. They've never apologized. They've never corrected the record. And clearly, they're never going to change. Take a look.
Sources now telling CNN that his former fixer, Michael Cohen, claims that then candidate Trump, despite his many denials since, knew in advance about that June 2016 Trump Tower meeting.
Here they see these calls to the block number, and now there seems to be good evidence that that was probably President Trump.
Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign chairman, paid secret visits, multiple ones, to Julian Assange at the Ecuadorian embassy in London.
What a great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president.
I just have to stop you for 1 second. First of all, the dossier has been corroborated by the intelligence community.
The president says this plan will provide little benefit for people of wealth like himself. Is that true?
In a word, no.
It was pretty much every second, every minute, every hour of every 24-hour day. And believe it or not, most analysts and hosts over there at Fake News CNN laughably refer to themselves as unbiased journalists, something they're not. That would include, yes, the stenographer for Jeff Zucker. His name would be Humpty Dumpty. Of course, Humpty's not a journalist. He's a partisan hack. He does whatever Jeff Zucker tells him to do. And despite his title as a media correspondent, he's not one. Humpty Dumpty focuses almost all of his efforts on pretty much stalking this network and yours truly, which is somewhat amusing. Most of you probably don't know this, but he actually has a weekend show on Fake News CNN that not that many people watch, a little over 700,000. That would be a total disaster in anybody else's world. And get this, his new Hate Hannity, Hate Fox book. Yeah, Nielsen numbers, 1,738 copies in its first week. It was highly publicized. And tonight, by the way, got to give him credit. He is number 5,421. And that in terms of Amazon's bestseller list. And during his most recent show, Humpty was just apoplectic over my coverage of Joe Biden and his protectors in the media mob. had a bit of a meltdown over it. Take a look.
You have to hear the poisonous propaganda that the GOP's activist base is listening to. You have to really hear it. It's coming more from Sean Hannity than from Trump right now. So that's what we did this week. We watched every episode of Sean Hannity's show, and we color-coded it. As you can see, we focused on his language, the insults and phrases that he repeats every night. Nasty little words. Don't get numb to this abusive language, because it is through these insults, it is through these attacks that Hannity wields power. This dark, dire language is fundamentally authoritarian. It's not opinion, what Hannity does. You know that's been the Fox defense for decades, right? Opinion shows. We have opinion shows. No. Saying, I don't know, well, yes, we should keep the 2017 tax cuts in place. That's an opinion. Let's expand universal pre-K. That's an opinion. Hannity is spouting something else. Hannity is spouting poison.
His definition of poison must mean that I tell the truth, that his book and his show is a failure. Anyway, Humpty not only claims to be the great arbiter of truth, but now, according to him, he's also the arbiter of what are acceptable opinions. Any sentiment or adjective that offends him is poison, like telling the truth about him. And Humpty, well, you've watched your own channel's programming over the last 5 years. You failed to report on all of the failures of your network. One CNN analyst fantasizing about punching 15-year-old Nicholas Sandmann in the face, for the crime of wearing a MAGA hat. Others referring to Trump supporters as Klansmen, Nazis, and domestic terrorists. Sounds like poison to me, Humpty. And that, of course, is only the tip of the iceberg. You decide.
Is this president trying to impersonate Hugo Chavez, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Vladimir Putin?
Trump is as destructive a person in this century as Hitler, Stalin, and Mao were in the last century. He may be responsible for many more million deaths than they were.
Preserving our heritage, reclaiming our heritage, that sounds a lot like a certain leader that killed members of my family and about 6 million other Jews in the 1940s.
What do you call someone who says clearly racist things? This morning, the answer is Mr. President.
Trump is a demagogue. He is a hate monger, and he is really bringing fascism to America.
He's just so insulting in so many ways, and such a crybaby. It's just disgusting.
He's almost leaving town like an autocrat, ousted from power, heading off into exile.
Hitler, Stalin, and Mao. Humpty, did you catch any of that? Or are you too busy watching us over here at Fox? Ultimately, Humpty Dumpty is projecting. He's lashing out. He's upset that he's been mocked and humiliated a lot as of late. His re-released book with 13 new chapters, 13 of them, sold 1,738 copies in its first week. Now over 5,000 on Amazon bestseller list, despite a massive nationwide PR campaign. His news, somebody else that works in his family, I'll be kind tonight, according to New York Magazine, is now being accused of workplace bullying. And CNN's fake news ratings have plummeted a whopping 75%. Things are not going well for him or anybody at Fake News CNN. But mark my words, pro-stalker Humpty, well, he'll never police my record and my opinions or do his the way he does mine. Trust me. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.